Welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at factorization of quadratic expressions. So our first example is y squared plus y minus 6. So the first step is you need to multiply this term and the last term, and you're going to get minus 6y squared. And the second step is you need to look for two factors of minus 6, which when you multiply them, they are going to give you minus 6y squared. But if you add them, they are going to give you plus 1. So here we have got 3 and 2. So now for us to get minus 6, it means one of these two numbers is supposed to be negative. And at the same time, after we add them together, we are supposed to get a positive answer. So which means the smaller one is supposed to be negative and the bigger number is supposed to be positive. So we are saying these are the two factors which when we multiply them, they're going to give us minus 6y squared. But if we add them or subtract them, we are going to get plus y. Because here you see our answer is going to be plus y here if we were to add them or subtract them. So now these are the two factors that we use to replace the middle term. So we're going to write the next stage as y squared plus 3y minus 2y minus 6. And then we can factorize here. The first two terms we factorize and we take out y. We're going to have y plus 3. And the last two terms we're going to factorize and take out minus 2. If you take out minus here, you're going to get y. And if you take out minus here and there's a minus outside, it means you're going to end up with a positive 3. Where do you get that? You get that from dividing minus 6 by minus 2, and you get your answer is positive 3, because negative cancels each other out, and then 2 into 2 1, 2 into 6, that's 3. So now you can write the bracket as your the figures inside the bracket is your first bracket, and the ones outside, which is y and minus 2, is the other bracket. So here you will be done factorizing. We're going to look at another example. Y squared plus 4y plus 3. Our first stage, first term multiplied by the last term, you're going to get 3y squared. Second stage, you look for two factors which when you add them, they are going to give you 4, but when you multiply them, they are going to give you, so if you multiply these two, you're going to get 3y squared, but if you add them, you're going to get 4y. So which means we're going to substitute this one with these two factors. So you're going to have y squared plus 3y plus y plus 3. So here you're going to factorize and take out y. You're going to have y here plus 3, and here, just because they don't share any other factor besides 1, it means you're taking out 1. In your first bracket is going to be y plus 3, and the second bracket is going to be y plus 1. Y plus 1. Okay, let's look at another example. If we have y squared plus 10y plus 25, and you are asked to factorize them, you're going to multiply the first and the last, and you get that's plus 25y squared, and two factors which when you multiply them, they give you plus 25y squared is 5 and 5, and if you add them, if you add these two, which is 5y plus 5y, does it give you the middle term? Yes, it does, which is 10y. So it means the next stage we substitute the middle term by 5y plus 5y plus 25, and here you take out y, and you're going to have y plus 5, and here you take out 5 because they share 5 as a common factor, and you're going to have your first bracket is y plus 5 times y plus 5, and this one can be written as y plus 5 squared, because this bracket is the same as this bracket. So your answer can be written in this form or in this form. It's fine, whichever way you decide to write it, it's okay. It shows you have managed to factorize it completely. Okay, let's look at another example. If we have y squared plus 12y plus 35, and you're asked to factorize them, the first thing, multiply the first term by the last to get 35y squared. And how do you get 35? You can get 35 by multiplying 7y and 5y. So if you multiply these two, you can get 35 y squared. And if you add them, if you add 7y plus 5y, you get 12, which is equivalent to our middle term. So we substitute our middle term by these two factors, which is 7y plus 5y plus 35y. You take out that, and here you're going to have y plus 7. Here you take out 5, and you're going to have y plus 7. Your first bracket is going to be the figures or the terms inside the bracket, and the second is going to be the terms outside the brackets, and here you will be done factorizing. Let's look at another example. If we have x squared plus 11x plus 24, and you're asked to factorize, we are saying 24x squared, which you get by multiplying first and last term, and two factors is going to be x squared times 3x. If you multiply, you get 24x squared, and if you add these two factors, you are going to get 11, and 11 is the same as the middle term, so which means we can substitute the middle term by those two factors, which is 8x plus 3x plus 24, and you factorize, you take out x here, and you're going to have x times x plus 8, and here if you take out 3, you're going to have x plus 8 inside the bracket, and your first bracket is going to be the terms inside the brackets, and your second bracket is going to be the terms outside the brackets, and here you will be done factorizing. Let's look at another example. If you have x squared minus 11x plus 24, and you are asked to factorize the first stage, you're going to get 24x squared. And what are the two factors here? You realize if you have got 8 that is positive, and 3 that is positive, you are going to get a positive 24x squared. But now when you add them, they're going to give you a positive answer. Like in this case, they're going to give you a positive answer. But here our middle term is negative. But we also know from what we have learned that if we multiply two numbers that are negative, they can give you a positive answer. Like in this case, you will still get 24x squared, a positive answer. And if you were to add these two, minus 8 plus minus 3, you're going to get a negative minus 11, which means minus 8 and minus 3 are the right factors that we can use to substitute minus 11x. So in this case, you substitute 11x by or with minus 8 and minus 3, and after that you can factorize. Here you get x minus 8, and here if you factorize a negative 3, it means here you're going to get x. But here, remember, this is what is happening behind the scenes. You are dividing this 24 by minus 3, and you're going to get your answer is minus 8, which means here you get minus 8. So our first bracket is the terms inside the brackets, and our second bracket is the terms outside the brackets, and here you will be done factorizing. So I'm going to do another example. Hopefully it's going to be our last for today or for this lesson. So here you multiply first and last, you get 10x squared, and here two factors here, two factors, it's 5 and 2. So 5 and 2, they give you positive 10x squared. If you add them, these two factors will give you 7x. So you can use these two factors to substitute 7x in our expression, and you're going to have 5x plus 2x plus 10. You take out x, you're going to have x plus 5, and here you take out 2, you're also going to have x plus 5, and here as your first bracket you have x plus 5, and as your second bracket you have x plus 2, which means here you will be done factorizing. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next lesson.